very good morning to everyone. So today we will present about books turned into movie. So I am Nurfadia binti Muhammad Bashir.
And I am Nur Patricia binti Siti Azmai.
And I am Nur Shafina binti Mariaya.
And I am Samina Shadana binti Muhammad.
So now the introduction is meaning of book. Book is pieces of paper that has many words and it is either written or printed. Work consisting of pages glued or sewn together along one side and bound in covers. Books is a handwritten or printed work of fiction or non-fiction, usually on sheets of paper fastened or bound together within covers. There is no limit of age for someone that wants to read the books. Fiction books contain a story which was made up by the author, such as novel and comics. Non-fiction books contain factual information, such as biography, history books. There are a lot of books, such as romance, mystery, and horror. The meaning of movie: a recording of moving image that tells a story and that people watch on a screen or television. A recorded sequence of film or video images displayed on a screen with sufficient rapidity as to create the illusion of motion and continuity. It also a form of entertainment that enact a story by sound and sequence of image, giving the illusions of continuous movement. There is a lot of genres of movies such as comedy, action, science fiction, horror, romance, action, thriller, drama, mystery, and crime. The meaning of book turned into movie. Book turned into movie is something that being published from the books and someone made it to become a movie. It is the transfer of a work or story, in whole or in part, to a further film. In this case, people that not understand the storyline of the books will be more understand if they watch the movies. Nowadays, people make movies that they take from other books, such as they take it from novels, like Avengers movie. At first it is from a comics, and they make it become a movies, and most of people like it. So that will make the reader more understand, and it will make people search for the books.
The story of book turned into movie. The formative years of narrative form had been very dependent on film reading made text, particularly literary text, but novels actually share more similarity with films in terms of telling the story. This is because there are more fidelity in terms of translating the literary essence of a novel to the cinematic context of a film. Dialogue plays are very much heavy reliance and dramatization, while novel provides us with insight beyond the dialogue. Then there is no literary fidelity in the novel to film adaptations, thus the constant alterations which alter during the production of adaptation. The important aspect of an adapted film we should note is that if both being contracted and expanded. It is contracted in the scope it should be covered, but it spanned in detail. If you notice, the length of a film is relatively short in comparison to the novel which it was based off. William Shakespeare was probably the author, whose works were the most frequently with adaptation. One of his famous work is Romeo and Juliet during the early 1930s.
The first one is help the writer to summarize the book. It is easier when a book turned into a movie. It can help summarize the writer's book for the readers. Besides that, it can help the writer in a way because some of the readers might find it hard to imagine the character in the story, and they might be curious on how the character looks like. It can also help the writers as many people prefer watching a movie instead of reading books that have a lot of pages. The second one is the writer's name will rise. Usually, when people watch a movie that is taken from a book, they might be curious on whether the storyline from the movie is the same with the storyline from the book. At the end of the movie, there usually will be credit for the writer of the book. Through that, people will start to search for the book so that they can compare the storyline from the book. When they bought the book, the writer's name will rise if the book of the story is good and the writer will be recognized as the best writer. For the third one is the writer will get more more royalties. When the movie is a hit, people will start searching for the book to compare the storyline from the book and the movie. When they buy the book, the writer of the book will get more royalties for her or his writing. The last one is help the movie to be the best movie. When the story from the book transferred to a movie, it will be more interesting. This is because if the acting and directors and all the story based from the book, it will make people to imagine and make the characters alive, and the audience will feel excited to watch that movie. For example, The Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. Or cons for the writer when book turned into a movie is some scene is cut from the book. It takes hard work and months or years for a writer to write one complete book before it is released to the public. Although it is a good opportunity when a book is turned into a movie, there is also a downside to it. When a book is turned into a movie, some of the scene in the book is cut. This is because it is to manage the duration of the movie so it will not be too long. The second one is sometimes they did not write the writer's name. Usually at the end of the movie, the director will write the writer's name for credit, but sometimes the director did not put the writer's name in the credit at the end of the movie. Even though it is good when a book turned into a movie to attract the audience, but the writer takes such long time to write the book and some scene is missing when the book turned into a movie, so the director should always give credit to the writer. For the third one is decrease in royalties. Not all books that turn into a movie become a hit when they are released in the public. This might affect the writers of the book. When the movie is boring, some people will see who is the writer of the story and might not want to buy any book from the writer. If the writer writes another book, this will affect the writer's work and decrease in royalties since there is no one that wanted to buy the book written by the writer. The last one is the reader's imagination decrease. When the reader watch the movie or film first, they will imagine the story based on the film or movies that they watch, and when they read the original book, they cannot imagine the story by themselves. So the feeling of choice to read the book will decrease because the imagination of the reader not grow.
Now we're talking, do making books into movie encourage or discourage reading? Nowadays, many teenagers do not prefer to read books, instead they prefer to watch a movie, film and read online books. Some of the authors does not publish their books at bookstore, instead they publish their book online since a lot of teenagers nowadays read online. Some authors turn their books into film or movies. Many book lovers complain about books made into movies. This is because when a book is turned into a film or movies and it becomes popular, the audience tend to search for the book to see whether the storyline of the book is as amazing as the storyline in the film or movies. So the author might write a new book, but the storyline of his or her book is kind of similar to their last book that got a lot of support from the fans. Through this action, many books lovers that has been following the author since his or her journey as a writer might feel disappointed that the writer had changed their flow or writing or adapt or fit into today's society so that the teenagers will buy and read their book.
It is possible that some stories are based on film. This is because when a story turns into a film or movie, the director of the film or movie tend to cut some scenes in order to manage the time duration so that the film or movie would not be too long. So the movie and film would not really be 100 same as the book written by the author. Because of this, some of the film or movie storyline is not as amazing as the storyline in the original book. For some people, making books into movie can encourage them to read. When they watch the film or movie, they become curious whether the storyline from the movie or film is the same as the storyline of the original book. So they will search for the book to read. Meanwhile, for some people, when book turned into movie, it does not encourage them to read, as they find it hard to read the book since the book is too thick and have many pages for them to read. Besides that, the book does not have picture, as some of people need picture to imagine something when they read.
Here is the suggestions. If you turn book into movie, you do not have to copy the storyline exactly what you have read from the book. It is because if you copy the storyline without making any changes, the audience that have watched the movie will not choose for the books anymore. So, if you make some changes such as change the plot twist or the ending, the audience will choose for the books because they want to know the true story that have written by the writer. Other than that, the author should publish the book before releasing it into a movie because sometimes people cannot wait for the release date of the movies, so that they will buy the books first to know the storyline, and they will watch the movie if the movie has released. Lastly, choose actor who is famous and most people love to watch them if they were acting in the movie. This is because people often watch a movie when their favorite actor was acting in the movies. For example, actor and actress that most people like when they were acting together is Hana Dalisha and Shafiq Khan. So if you take them to become the main actor for the movies, their fans will watch the movies. Then, novel adaptation to the movie is good as it helps novel readers to better understand the storyline written in the novel. However, this affects the novel industry as well because it causes novels readers to no longer want to read novel because they feel by watching the movie adapted from the novel. But there are also a few opinions that adapt films of this novel make them read the novel after watching the movie. This is because they will find the novel and read it to understand and know the real storyline in the novel because in the movie there are some scenes that have to be cut because of the short time. Therefore, novel adaptation to the movie has its own goodness and disadvantages of every aspect. This is because it depends on each individual who determines whether to just film or read novels and watch movies at once for their own understanding. That's all for us. Thank you.